Have you ever noticed that some older adults walk in such a steady way that they almost never fall? These falls aren't just minor accidents, they're the leading cause of injury-related deaths among seniors, often leaving families worried and lives permanently changed. Yet, there's a group of older adults who seem almost immune. They walk with confidence, balance, and calm, as if they've discovered a hidden secret. Today, we're going to reveal 7 walking secrets they use. These aren't complicated exercises or tiring fitness routines. Instead, they're simple, subtle changes in the way you move, small adjustments that, with practice, become second nature. The 4th secret is especially surprising because it's something most people unknowingly do backward. Consider Thomas, a 72-year-old retired engineer. After experiencing 3 serious falls and fracturing his hip, he believed his independence was gone forever. That changed when a physical therapist taught him a new way to walk. Within a year, Thomas went from fearing every step to confidently hiking with his grandchildren. These 7 walking secrets don't just prevent falls, they help restore balance, confidence, and independence. If you've ever worried about losing your stability as you age, stay with me until the end. These techniques can completely transform the way you walk and the way you live. Let's begin with the first technique, the 3-point gaze. Where do you usually look when you walk? Many older adults keep their eyes fixed on the ground, just a few feet ahead. On the surface, this seems smart, you want to spot obstacles before tripping. But here's the paradox. Constantly looking down actually increases your risk of falling. When you drop your gaze toward the ground, your head tilts forward, shifting your center of gravity. Your neck and upper back muscles tense, your shoulders round, and your balance system loses the full picture it needs to keep you stable. What seems protective ends up making you more unsteady. The 3-point gaze changes this. Instead of focusing only on your feet, you train your eyes in 3 stages. First, look at a near point, about 10 to 15 feet ahead. This helps you spot obstacles early while maintaining good posture. Second, every 10 to 15 seconds, lift your eyes to a far point, like the horizon or your destination. This naturally straightens your spine and resets your posture. Finally, engage your peripheral vision, consciously widening your side awareness so you can notice movement or obstacles without constantly twisting your head. Thomas had trained himself to stare at the ground for years, believing it was safest. But once he started practicing the 3-point gaze, he felt changes within days. He stood taller, breathed easier, and walked with more confidence. What began as awkward soon became his new normal. Science supports this approach. A study in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found that gaze direction immediately affects walking mechanics. Looking down increases postural sway and shortens step length, both of which make falls more likely. By contrast, people using the 3-point gaze walked more confidently and reacted to obstacles almost 20% faster. The beauty of this technique is that it requires no special equipment, no extra time, and no complicated training. It's simply a shift in awareness. The next time you walk, pay attention to where your eyes are. Are they glued to the ground, or balanced between near, far, and peripheral points? This small change can mean the difference between a stumble and a steady stride. The second technique is the heel-to-toe roll. One of the most common walking mistakes happens with how your feet touch the ground. Many older adults either land flat-footed or step toe-first without realizing it. Both patterns work against stability. Walking flat-footed removes your natural shock absorption, while stepping toe-first narrows your base of support, making it feel like you're walking on a tightrope. The body is designed to move with a heel-to-toe roll. With each step, your heel should touch the ground first. Then, your weight should roll smoothly along the outer edge of your foot before finishing by pushing off with your toes. This creates a stable, triangular base of support and lets your ankles act as natural shock absorbers. Thomas admitted he had been walking flat-footed for years. When he began practicing the heel-to-toe technique, the difference in his stability was immediate and noticeable. When Thomas first started practicing the heel-to-toe roll, it felt exaggerated and strange. His steps seemed awkward and mechanical, but after 3 weeks of consistent practice, the difference was undeniable. His balance improved, his stride became smoother, and walking began to feel natural again. What once required focus soon became automatic. Rehabilitation specialists explain why this shift matters so much. The heel-to-toe roll engages the full range of motion in your ankles while evenly distributing force through your legs. Instead of unstable, jerky steps, your movements become fluid and controlled. And when you do stumble, your body has a stronger base to recover from it. For those with arthritis or discomfort when striking with the heel, this adjustment doesn't need to happen overnight. You can start gradually by taking shorter steps to reduce pressure, and wearing supportive footwear can make the transition easier. The goal isn't perfection on day one, it's building a new habit through repetition. Here's a simple exercise you can try at home. Walk slowly in a straight line, paying attention to the sequence of heel, roll, and toe push-off. Don't worry about speed, focus on smoothness. Practicing this for just 5 to 10 minutes a day builds new muscle memory. Once the habit takes root, it becomes automatic. It's remarkable how something as ordinary as the way you place your foot can either weaken or strengthen your stability. Walking may feel second nature, but over the years, many of us develop patterns that stray from how the body is designed to move. Relearning the heel-to-toe roll is like resetting your natural walking blueprint. With time, this small change can mean the difference between feeling vulnerable on your feet and moving with quiet, steady confidence. If you're still watching and finding these tips helpful, comment the number 2 below to let us know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Your support helps us keep creating valuable content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move to the third walking secret, core engagement. When most people hear the word core, they think of sit-ups or intense workouts meant for younger fitness enthusiasts. But your core muscles are not just for appearance. They're the central stabilizers that keep your entire body balanced as you move. The truth is, many older adults unintentionally switch off their core while walking. The midsection relaxes, posture slouches, and the back, hips, and knees are forced to carry extra strain. This creates instability and increases the risk of stumbling. Thomas had never once thought about his core while walking. He assumed balance came only from his legs and feet. But when his therapist taught him to lightly engage his abdominal muscles, he described it as tightening the bolts on a wobbly chair. Suddenly, his movements felt stable, and the wobble he once carried in every step disappeared. The method is simple. While walking, imagine gently drawing your belly button inward toward your spine. You don't need to hold your breath or tighten too hard, overdoing it creates unnecessary tension. Think of it as a light internal lift, just 25% of your maximum effort, enough to give you subtle but solid support. At first, Thomas kept forgetting, so he used a clever trick. He placed small colored dots around his home, on the refrigerator, near the front door, and by his bathroom mirror. Each time he saw a dot, he checked in with his core. Over time, this practice carried over into his daily walks and eventually became second nature. Science supports this approach. Research from National Aging Research Centers shows that older adults who actively engage their core while walking recover more effectively from stumbles. This engagement creates a strong chain of stability through the spine, hips, and legs. Instead of collapsing forward when balance is lost, the core acts like an anchor, giving you a better chance to steady yourself. A common mistake, however, is clenching too forcefully. True core engagement shouldn't make you stiff. You should still be able to breathe easily and speak comfortably. Think of it not as bracing, but as supporting, like a gentle scaffolding holding your body upright. For those who experience lower back discomfort, this technique can often provide relief by distributing pressure evenly, rather than letting the spine bear it all. Start with just a few minutes a day, even while walking around your home. With time, you'll notice real improvements, not only in your stability, but also in your posture, breathing, and overall energy. Core engagement isn't about adding a difficult new task to your routine. It's about reclaiming the natural stability your body was built to have. With consistency, these simple adjustments can bring back the natural stability your body once had. This difference can turn uncertain, hesitant steps into a steady, confident walk. Number 4, arm swing reset. When most people think about walking, the focus naturally falls on the legs and feet. But what many don't realize is that the arms play a crucial role in maintaining rhythm and balance. Your arms are not just hanging by your sides for decoration, they act as natural counterbalances that stabilize your movement. Without proper arm movement, your body quietly loses a key source of rhythm and support, increasing the risk of falls. Many older adults unconsciously keep their arms stiff, tucked tightly against the body, or even folded in front. While this might feel more controlled, it actually limits your balance. By contrast, children instinctively swing their arms freely when they walk, and this natural motion is part of why their movements look so effortless. Ideally, when your right foot steps forward, your left arm should swing forward in sync. This opposing motion creates equilibrium, reduces unnecessary twisting in your torso, and makes your stride smoother and more secure. Thomas discovered this during his recovery. For years, he had walked with a rigid upper body, barely moving his arms at all. His therapist encouraged him to exaggerate his arm swing for a few minutes each day to retrain his body. At first, Thomas laughed, thinking it looked silly. But within days, his stride felt smoother, his steps lighter, and even his daughter noticed the change before he mentioned it. She told him he looked younger and more confident, all from this simple adjustment. Proper arm swing doesn't mean flailing wildly. Therapists often recommend keeping a 45 degrees bend at the elbows with a relaxed, natural front-to-back swing, not side-to-side. Your hands should pass near your hip pocket during the back swing. Keep your shoulders loose and relaxed. Picture your arms as gentle pendulums, moving in harmony with your steps. Research confirms the benefits. Studies from leading gait laboratories found that restoring natural arm swing reduces the energy cost of walking and improves the body's ability to recover from stumbles. In fact, older adults who practiced proper arm swing experienced a significant drop in fall risk. The beauty of this technique is its simplicity, no equipment, no special training. All you need is to let your arms do what they're meant to do. Start with short practice walks, focusing just 5 minutes a day on relaxed, rhythmic arm movement. For Thomas, this change transformed walking from something stiff and effortful into a smooth, enjoyable experience. His steps no longer felt tight and hesitant. Instead, he moved with rhythm, balance, and a renewed sense of ease. By letting the arms return to their natural role, he unlocked a level of stability that had been missing for years. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, comment the number 4 below to let us know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you never miss new content. Your support allows us to keep creating helpful videos to inform and inspire you. Number 5, foot strength and proper footwear. Every step you take begins with your feet, yet foot health is often one of the most overlooked areas in fall prevention. As we age, 2 important changes occur. First, the nerve endings in our feet become less sensitive. These tiny sensors act like messengers, sending information to your brain about the surface beneath you. When their sensitivity decreases, your awareness of the ground weakens. Second, the muscles in your feet become weaker, often from decades spent inside stiff, overly supportive shoes. This combination, reduced feedback and reduced strength, creates a fragile base that makes falls more likely. Many older adults unknowingly make matters worse by wearing the wrong footwear. Those thick-soled, heavily cushioned shoes that feel soft and comfortable are sometimes referred to as balance blockers because they dull your foot's ability to sense the ground and respond quickly to changes. Similarly, loose slip-on shoes may seem convenient, but without proper fastening, they increase instability with every step. Thomas experienced this firsthand. For years, he wore slip-on shoes with thick soles, assuming they were the safest option. His therapist explained that this type of footwear was actually limiting his balance. When he switched to properly fitted walking shoes with a low, wide heel and a flexible sole, the improvement was immediate. He felt more connected to the ground, more stable, and more confident with every step. With properly fitted walking shoes that allowed his feet to feel the ground, along with secure laces to keep them snug, Thomas's walking became noticeably steadier and more controlled. But footwear is only half the solution. Strengthening the feet themselves makes just as big of a difference. Simple daily exercises can restore power, coordination, and stability to your toes and arches. One of the easiest exercises is toe spreading. Sit down, spread your toes as wide as you comfortably can, hold for a few seconds, then relax. Another is towel gripping. Place a small towel on the floor and use your toes to scrunch it toward you. A third is marble pickup, where you lift marbles or other small objects with your toes and place them into a bowl. These may sound simple, but research shows that even a few weeks of daily practice can dramatically improve balance. Seniors who practiced these routines reported feeling more confident on tricky surfaces like grass, gravel, or uneven sidewalks. Their feet became stronger, their steps more deliberate, and their fear of falling began to fade. Think of it this way: your feet are the foundation of a house. If that foundation is weak, the entire structure wobbles. But if it's strong and well supported, everything above feels secure. By choosing the right shoes and strengthening your feet through simple exercises, you build a stable base for safe, confident walking. This small but powerful shift completely transformed Thomas's stability. No longer did he hesitate when stepping onto uneven ground. His feet responded naturally, adjusting to changes without conscious thought. With each walk, he felt stronger, more balanced, and more in control, proving that when you take care of the base of your movement, the rest of your body follows. Number 6. The widen base technique. One of the most common mistakes older adults make when walking is keeping their feet too close together. It may feel natural, but it creates what specialists call the tightrope effect. Imagine walking on a line instead of a rectangle. When your steps overlap or nearly cross, your body loses its side-to-side stability, making each stride more precarious. This narrow walking style is a hidden contributor to falls, especially on uneven surfaces. The widen base technique corrects this by encouraging you to walk with your feet roughly hip-width apart. This spacing forms what balance experts refer to as a stability rectangle beneath you. It doesn't require an exaggerated stance, just enough width to give you a solid, steady foundation with each step. This subtle change can transform your walking experience, reducing the side-to-side wobble that often develops with age. Thomas learned this technique during one of his therapy sessions. His physical therapist pointed out that his feet were almost crossing with each step, unknowingly creating instability. At first, changing this habit was challenging. After decades of walking narrowly, his body had adopted it as second nature. To retrain himself, Thomas placed 2 strips of tape along his hallway floor, spaced exactly hip-width apart. Each day, he walked between these lines, focusing on keeping 1 foot on each track. After just 2 weeks of consistent practice, the difference was remarkable. His steps felt more grounded, his balance improved, and the constant worry of stumbling began to fade. Walking across grass or gravel no longer felt risky. He even noticed that his arms and shoulders moved more naturally now that his body wasn't fighting to stay centered. This technique is also highly adaptable. Taller people may need a slightly wider stance, while shorter individuals may require less. Those with hip discomfort can start narrower and gradually widen as their comfort improves. A helpful mental image is to picture walking on train tracks. Your right foot follows one rail, your left foot follows the other, and they never cross. Studies from leading balance laboratories confirm the effectiveness of this adjustment. Walking with optimal width can reduce lateral sway by nearly half, cutting down the sudden arm flails and compensations that often precede a fall. Experts agree that something as simple as widening your stance may be one of the most practical, yet overlooked, safeguards against instability. For Thomas, this change felt like rediscovering balance itself. Instead of wobbling along a tightrope, he now walked across a steady bridge. That renewed sense of control fed directly into his confidence, turning each walk from a careful test into something he could genuinely enjoy. If you're still watching and finding these tips valuable, comment the number 6 below to let us know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a new video. Your support allows us to keep creating content that informs, inspires, and helps you live stronger every day. Number 7. Mindful transitions. Most falls don't happen while walking in a straight line. They usually occur in those short, vulnerable moments of transition, when standing up from a chair, turning around, stopping suddenly, or stepping from one surface to another. These are the times when the body has to quickly reset its balance. As we age, that reset becomes slower and less automatic. Thomas learned this the hard way. His therapist noticed that when he turned corners, he often twisted his upper body first while keeping his feet planted, which caused him to wobble dangerously. To fix this, she introduced the mindful transitions technique. At its core, this method is about adding a deliberate pause before changing movement. This short pause gives your balance system time to adjust, so your body can move smoothly into the next action. The key is the 3-second pause. When you're about to change direction, stop completely. Plant your feet shoulder-width apart, lightly engage your core, and focus your eyes on where you want to go. Then pivot intentionally, lift one foot, step into the new direction, and let the rest of your body follow. By avoiding sudden twisting motions, you protect your balance and reduce unnecessary joint strain. Thomas began practicing this technique at home. He placed small colored stickers in areas where he usually rushed, getting up from his recliner, turning at the bottom of the staircase, and stepping through the bathroom doorway. These stickers reminded him to pause. At first, it felt awkward and overly cautious, but with time, the habit became second nature. Once it did, the little wobbling moments he used to experience disappeared completely. The science behind this technique is impressive. Research shows that most falls among older adults occur at transition points, not during steady walking. In fact, studies from fall prevention labs have found that adding a brief pause before transitions can reduce fall incidence by nearly 50%. That's a major improvement from such a simple change. To build this habit, choose 3 to 5 transition points in your daily routine, maybe when you get up from the couch, enter the kitchen, or walk through the front door. For 1 week, make it a practice to pause for 3 seconds before each of these transitions. Keep your posture upright, your feet steady, and your movements intentional. Within days, you'll notice how much more secure and grounded you feel. Think about a time when you almost fell. Was it when you turned too quickly, stood up too fast, or stepped onto an uneven surface? Chances are, it was during one of these vulnerable transition moments. By training yourself to handle them mindfully, you transform risky points into some of the safest parts of your movement. When Thomas combined this technique with the others, it was as if he rebuilt his entire walking foundation. These deliberate pauses didn't slow him down, they gave him a smoother, more controlled rhythm. Walking transformed from a cautious task into something he could once again trust and enjoy. Final thoughts. These 7 walking secrets are not just isolated tricks, they form a connected system that reshapes how you move and restores your confidence. Looking ahead with a 3-point gaze helps you stand taller. Practicing the heel-to-toe roll makes your steps smoother and more stable. Engaging your core adds strength to every stride, while swinging your arms resets your body's rhythm. The right footwear and foot exercises provide a solid foundation. Walking with a widened base increases stability, and mindful transitions help you navigate the most vulnerable moments with control. The real message is simple: these changes are not about slowing you down, they're about giving you back your freedom. Aging doesn't have to mean fragility. With mindful practice and small daily adjustments, you can remain active, steady, and independent far longer than you might imagine. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below sharing one thing you learned and how you plan to use it in your daily life. Your feedback motivates us to keep creating meaningful content. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue to inform and inspire you.